Good afternoon, ladies. Alright. Again, I didn't announce I was going live. I got my new shipment of makeup in, so I have my color back. Yay! I got a big box full of goodies. So later I will do an unboxing with all of my new eyeshadows. I got a ton of them in. And we'll go through that later. But to start with, I am just going to do a really quick makeup look before going into Walmart. Cover up some of these acne spots. Whoopsies. I'm sorry if you got a little dizzy. My phone fell. Alright, so I'm just going to use my 30-second hack brush and my new color. Oh, look, you can see the Walmart parking lot. There you go. I'm really there. Candlelit is my all over shade, so I'm going to get to use that today without having to mix the two colors. And then I'm going to use that shade to brighten my areas with. But, so just to start with, let's dip in. Alright, this is just going to be a really quick look. Hi, Becky. Alright, we're going to go through and cover these spots here. And you can tell how perfect a color that is for me. You see how easily that just blended through? That's when you know you got the right color. I'm just going to be a really quick look. And you could do the cheetah hack. Cheetah hack's really easy, really fast. But for those who don't want to dip your finger into the makeup, this is a great way to do your makeup super quickly and not get your fingers all smudged up in it. So we'll start off doing just half the face first, and I'll show you guys how awesome it is. And this is not full coverage that I'm doing right now. I mean, it covered extremely well, but if I was going to be doing a more full coverage look, I would be stippling instead of just swiping. That's perfect, Taylor. So you want it to look like your skin. You want it to match your color. It is amazing makeup. I love the makeup, no makeup looks. I mean, granted, if I'm going more glam, yeah, I'm going to want it to show more. But for most days, I want it to look like my skin. You know, I want it to look like, yes, I woke up like this. I'm flawless, even though we all know it's a lie. But everybody else doesn't. I mean, you guys know because you guys see me all barefaced, but, you know, we can lie to the rest of the world, right? Okay, so you can see how well that covered with just a little bit. Now, if you wanted to add a little bit extra coverage, just stipple. You see how I'm just bouncing that brush up and down? That's what you call stippling, and stippling is going to give you better coverage than just buffing, okay? So now let's get some underneath those eyes, cover up them circles. Alright, now you see, this is just flat. I'm flat, all one color right here. But you see what kind of coverage, and this side was worse. I mean, if you go back to the beginning of the video, you'll see how this side was worse than this side. Look at that, y'all. Look at that. Alright, so I'm just going to take my brightener. I'm going to show you guys a full half face first. So I'm taking my brightener shade. I'm going to do that upside down triangle. And this isn't a very dramatic brightener shade. This is more subtle. It's only one step down in color versus going 2 steps down. So I'm using this color right here to brighten with, and that's White Peach. Before I was using linen. I think that was a little bit too light on me. It was definitely too light for what I wanted on a daily look. If I wanted it to be more of a glamour styled look, or just a more bam, yes. Or if you like that really bright area under your eyes, some women do, and that's perfectly fine. Just me personally, my preference is to be more subtle. Unless I'm going like a full out look, then I'll want the more dramatic drop in shade. So I'm just using White Peach just to give that subtle little brightness there. And White Peach is back in stock, so if that was your shade, it's back. All right, now we're going to just flip the other end of our 30-second hack, and we're going to go from the top of our ear and go down. So my cheekbone is right there. You see how that line, we're going to go right there to there. We have that. We gave ourselves a cheekbone, whereas before there was no cheekbone. Hey Taylor, could you share this in the group if you're still watching? If you could share it into, I think you're in Jessica's group. If you could share this into Jessica's group, that would be great. I don't think everybody who's in there is in my this group here. All right, so now I'm just going to take Plum, because Plum's my absolute favorite. And I'm just going to put a little dab onto the end of that brush. And we're going to pop that on the apples of our cheek and blend in. So smile. We're going to start there. Thank you, girl. Appreciate it. And it's going to give us that nice rosy complexion. And if you want it to be a little bit brighter, you can take the brighter color. I personally love Plum. Plum's my favorite color. I need to order another one just so I'll have a backup for when that other one goes out. So you can see how natural and beautiful that is. All right, so let's do the other side of the face. So face not done, face done. And I don't have anything to do my brows with, so the brows shall stay naked. All right, now we're just gonna go through, and you see how we had used that blush. You can just wipe off if there's any excess. There's really not. You can see my arm, it didn't change shades at all. These brushes are wonderful. And they're made for creams. So like I said, when I first started with Maskcara Beauty, when I was still waiting on my kit, I was using a B&H Cosmetics brush, and it worked. I did lots of videos with it. It put on the makeup beautifully, but it's nothing compared to how this put it in. I feel like I'm using less product with these brushes and wasting less, but getting better coverage. And they're made for creams. So the areas where we need that little additional, see, this is buffing where I was stippling before. Now I will go back over and stipple over the areas that need a little bit of extra coverage. But even with just buffing, you can see how well that is applying the makeup. I have missed having my correct shade, ladies. I cannot tell you how big of a difference it is, how much quicker it is rather than having to mix two shades. But it's possible to mix two shades. I did that for a couple months. And I have very veiny eyelids, so I always bring that over on my eyelids. And I don't have my sponge with me, so I will not be using a sponge. So I'm just going to add just a little bit extra coverage there, a little bit extra right there, and a little bit under my eyes. Now I'm going to take my brightener, the white peach, and we're just going to brighten underneath. And I'm mostly doing a stipple. I did swipe a little bit, but you don't want to mix the color too much with the underneath because you do want it to give you some brightness. So right here is a scab. In order to get that covered a little bit better, I'm going to just pat. Okay. Alright, now let's go through and contour. Again, top of our ear. You're going to swipe down. Take our blush. We're going to do just one dot into it so we don't pick up too much product. And just buff that in. We want to make sure we get that on the apples of our cheeks. So yeah, this is my favorite just all around brush. It gives perfect coverage. I mean, you guys can see how quick and easy that was. I'm in the car. Obviously, I've proved that when I dropped my phone and you guys saw everything. But yeah, so super, super easy. Now what I am going to do, I'm going to wipe off the excess that I have here of the contour. So I'm just wiping that off on my arm. This is out of stock right now, but it will be back in stock soon. You see this white color right here? It doesn't really give off too much. That is our setting powder. I don't have anything else to set my face with right now in the car. So I do have that tin in here. I'm going to use this pointed end and I'm going to go in and I'm going to set my areas that get really oily. So I am just rubbing that in. I'm patting this in. So I'm rubbing the brush and the tin to try and pick up some of that product, and I am just patting that in my areas that are areas that generally get pretty oily. And setting it. So just my oily areas, and that is it. Okay. Actually, I will set above my eyelids too, because that'll crease if I don't. Alright, let's do a little bit on the lashes. And I do have my unique 4D lashes here. I guess I shouldn't have done away with my mirror because I need that. So, I'm not going to put a lip color on right now because I'm going to be putting a mask on. But I have some pretty lip colors that I'm going to show you guys later. So when I do my eyes later when I get home, I'm going to show you some new lip colors that I have. And I'm going to show you some new eyeshadows. Hey girl. So like I said, our brows will not be done, but the rest of our face will. And our lips won't because I'm going to have the mask on. Alright ladies, I do have one little smudge that I got on top. I'll probably just leave that alone. Okay. Alright. I will see you guys when I get home. Bye, girls.